In this video, I'm going to explain exactly why you leaning into and asking for life to be harder is exactly what you need to have the breakthrough that you've been wanting. I know it sounds a little bit weird, maybe a little bit strange. I didn't understand it at first either. I remember specifically I was in high school at football practice. This day, it seemed to be, hotter than any other day. And I went up to my coach and I said, "Coach, why is practice so hard? Like, it's harder than the games are." And he said, "Exactly, son." And I kind of looked at him strange, and I could tell he knew I didn't know what he was talking about. So he broke it down a little bit more. So he said, "Calendike, if practice is hard, if practice is grueling, and it's way harder than the game, when it comes time to us to play the games are fun. The games are easy. The games are like taking candy from a baby." And it's exactly what happened. It's exactly what it was. You know, looking back, there's no wonder our high school was one of the best high schools in the state. We had more state champions than almost any other football team. And it was because of that thing right there. See, we got used to practicing hard. We got used to doing things when it was challenging. That way, when it came to game time was easy. Game time was fun. You know, and I took that same principle that I learned very early on in life, and I just applied it to my actual life, right? See, the game of life, I want the game of life to be easy. I want practice to be hard. And practice for me, right, is going to the gym. Practice for me is putting my physical body through stress on purpose. You know, I see a lot of people go to the gym and they just go through the motion. You know, they just show up and, do the minimum or do whatever they have to do. But here's what I know from football. That's not how champions are made. It's how average people are made. So if you want to be average, do that. But if you want to be a champion, if you want to be the best, if you want to be part of the 1%, well, listen closely in this video. Really apply what I'm saying to your life. And it won't be just the physical results that will take off. Yes, you're going to get the abs. Yes, you're going to get the chest. Yes, you're going to get the arms. You will get the physical physique you want. But it's going to be much more than that. It's going to trickle down into all aspects of your life. If you just learn to lean into the pain, if you just invite the pain in so it becomes normal. See, we all have this comfort zone. We have this area that we're real comfortable in, and we don't want to go out of there. It's not in our human nature to go outside your comfort zone. But what lies outside your comfort zone is growth. What lies outside your comfort zone is the best version of you. It's the version that God created you to be, but you'll never become that version until you first get uncomfortable. It's so important to teach yourself to stretch. Think back in your life. I really want you to think back on your life. Now, you probably had several different times in your life where things got really hard. They got really challenging, and you didn't even know how you were going to make it through. And then you've had times in your life where everything was perfect. I mean, straight bliss. Everything was great. It couldn't be, like you were on top of the world. Now, if you take those two scenarios, those two situations, I want you to honestly think of a couple times. Which scenario did you actually learn and grow from? Did you grow in the scenario where everything was perfect, couldn't get any better, everything was bliss? Or did you learn more from the situation where you didn't know how you were going to get out of it? You thought there was no hope. You couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I already know the answer. It's this one, the one that made you uncomfortable, the one that forced you to grow, the one that stressed you. It stretched you. It made you do more than you thought you could do. You know, you're at this crossroad. You could either lay down, give up, and quit, or you could you could come up with some sort of solution. You could come up with some way to make it work, and you made it work. See, you can intentionally put yourself in the fire. You can intentionally put yourself under pressure. This is why I love the gym so much. This is why I love the gym so much. I can intentionally put my body under stress in a controlled environment, and I can do it over and over and over and over. Not only can I put my body intentionally under stress in a controlled environment, I can do it around all my peers, around everybody else. So I can physically, like I can see myself better than them. I can see myself doing things that they're not willing to do. And that's, look, if you want success, if you want to be at the top, you have to be willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do. You know, if you go to the gym and you look around and people are doing more than you, if you go around and you look around in the gym and your workouts look like everybody else's workouts, there's nothing wrong with that if you want to be average. There's nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, continue to do that. Now, I mean, kudos to you for going to the gym. Kudos to you for showing up to the gym, but I'm going to be real with you. You know, a lot of you guys probably watching this, you're chasing the physiques of the top 1%, the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop. Well, they didn't become the cream of the crop by doing what everybody else did. They learned to push through the pain. They learned to embrace being uncomfortable. Everybody else went home. You know, everybody else, you know, they stopped at 10 reps, you did 12. Everybody else ran 1 mile, you did an extra one. It's that point of being uncomfortable. That's where you have those breakthroughs. You have breakthroughs when you put yourself at the point of no return, when you go just to the edge, when your mind is telling you, I can't do another one, when your brain is like, we can't do it, your body it doesn't know if it can make it. It's something inside of you says, do another one, do another rep, run another lap. Let's get in another mile. Let's do it again. Let's do this again tomorrow. That's how you're going to reach your full potential. My belief is God put you here to become the best version of you. And what you think is the best version of you, you're just scraping the surface. You're just grazing the surface of your full potential. You have so much more in you. There's so much more in you. But the only way you'll ever even get close to realizing how much potential you have is by rubbing up against pain, facing being uncomfortable head on and overcoming it. And then do it again. And then do it again. And do it again. See, because, you know, you start, here's your comfort zone, right? You're in here, your comfort zone. It's nice and toasty, nice and warm. Now, you see all this other stuff that you would like to have. You see these physiques that you would want. You see these lifestyles that you would want, but they're outside your comfort zone. So you're not comfortable where you're at, but you're not uncomfortable enough to do what it takes to go get those things. So every time you nudge up to the corner of your comfort zone and, you know, you're right here, right at the line, you could just step outside your comfort zone, but you don't. Because you get scared, you let fear take over and you retreat back. You retreat back into what's comfortable. You retreat back into what you're used to. I'm going to ask you a question. And I don't know. I'm going to ask you a question and you answer it. Are you happy with your current situation? Physically, financially, spiritually, your relationships. Are you happy? Or are you just content? Are you coasting? You just getting by? You know and I know you have greatness in you. You got to activate it. You know and I know there's another version inside of you that's waiting to come out. There's another version inside of you that's like, let's go. That version is waiting on you. That version is waiting on you. But you're going to have to work. You don't get access to that version of you without first paying the price, without first putting in the dues, without first putting in the work. But you got it in you. You know you got it in you. Look, if you've gotten this far in this video, there's something in you. There's this spark in you. I know it's there. You know it's there. I need you to start believing it's there. And once you start believing it's there, then you start doing the work to bring it out. And here's the thing about doing the work to bring it out. You know what's hard? You really want to know what's hard? What's hard is doing things you've never done before. What's hard is doing things you've never experienced. But here's the good thing about hard. Here's the good thing about doing hard work consistently. Eventually, it's not hard. Eventually, it's your baseline. Eventually, it becomes your norm. So when hard becomes your norm, you reach to another level. But guess what? There's always another level and another level and then another level and then another level. So it's always about pushing past your comfort zone. It's always about getting uncomfortable. This is why it's so important to hang around the right people. This is why it's so important to have a coach. This is why it's so important to have a mentor. Someone that sees more in you than you see in yourself. Someone that can push you to limits you don't even know you can go. Some of the most influential men in my life were my coaches, my mentors. Because a lot of times they seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. I had to borrow their belief until I could buy my own belief. And you know how I bought my belief? I bought my belief by putting in the work. I bought my belief with putting in the time. Belief came with time. See, when you have big, bodacious goals, you're not going to believe them at first. They're not going to resonate with you at first. Because there's a lot of obstacles in the way. And a lot of the obstacles you can't see yet. You can't see yet. But coaches and mentors, they help you see. They're your eyes. You just got to put in the work. You just got to push through the pain. So make a decision. What do you want to do? Be average? Because if you want to be average, I mean, you can be that. I think it's disrespectful to our Creator. I think it's disrespectful to who you know you can be, who you know you should be. But I mean, that's a choice. But I would be willing to bet if you've made it to this far in this video, you're a champion. You're a bona fide champion looking to get better, looking to improve. So I need you to draw a line in the sand and make a commitment. Not to me. I'm good. Not to me, to yourself. Make a commitment to get better. Make a commitment to grow. Make a commitment to show up as the best man you can be. For God first, then your family, then your kids, then everybody else. And in order to give that, in order to be that kind of man where you got enough for God, enough for your wife, enough for your family, and enough for your community, you got to have a big tank. You got to have a lot of heart in you. You got to have a lot of hunger in you. You got to have a lot of drive in you. You got to have a lot of passion in you. And it's going to take you getting uncomfortable. It's going to take you pushing through the pain. It's going to take you leaning up against it and saying, let's go. Let's go, baby. You were made for this. You were born for this. If you like this video, I think you probably like this one. So check that one out. Like the video and subscribe if you got some value. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Let's go.